Nago's trash.
Be cool. You be cool.
This is the blind nigga samurai.
What's good, nigga?
I'm just wanna give us a little conversation to talk about, as you can see by inception of screens back here. But I wanted to talk about this fat cow. I got myself a little tier list. And we're gonna be. Let me just get a little fucking. Ooh, my page. Let me get my stuff here. Be able to see my screen while I'm doing this bullshit. Wait, what? Nago big damage combos. Alright, Nago 2-minute tutorial. We're just looking through all of the shit. But I'm just gonna pull up the Nago. God damn it! Commercials! Alright, let me skip that. I know who I am. I'm a black Nigerian man, me. I've got two swords. I don't wear a shirt, no matter the weather, 'cause I'm undead. Alright, so I just wanted to have this little meeting today about how, your boy, Nago Ryuki is, kind of trash. Alright, so, back to what we were talking about. I just gotta move my mic in a little bit, because I can't really hear myself that well. So today, on today's lesson, we're gonna talk about how Nago is actually D tier. I mean, I understand that, yes, we got the little, this is another tier maker and another tier maker. We got, because this is basically just showing the matchups. And because I'm a Nago main until Biking comes out, and because I'm a Nago main, I just had to look at some of the reasons why I'm getting fucking stomped by characters that I swear I'm better than. Especially, we'll talk about somebody a little later in the video. But it's just not fair. It's just there's things that other people can do that I feel like is just not fair to me. Famous last words. All right, so we're gonna come back up. So I got the tier list there. So as a disclaimer, I understand. I'm fully aware of the fact that Nago Ryuki is probably one of the better characters in the game. Not the best character in the game, one of the better characters in the game. But I have a criteria that makes him wholly bottom tier, regardless of the fact that he has big damage. And one of those reasons are like so. So we're going to put him in Nago tier, which is basically, the tier that he's in. He's dangerous, but he's not the best, all right? And like I said, there's a couple reasons why I think that he's in a lower tier than you all put him in, because you're sitting there looking at all of these Hotashis and Grandmaster J's, and those are the only two people I know because I only follow black streamers, black YouTubers. Let's go. But the reason I put him down here is because everybody else in the game has Guilty Gear-esque shit, and also everybody else in the game has the criteria that I feel is what makes them better than him. And one of those things is literally just a second jump. That's it. Everybody else, I could just grab, if I could like control click and just grab everybody and just slap them onto like better than Nago, I would do that. Because of merely that point alone. That extra jump with everybody is ridiculous. I mean, characters that should be keeping up, or oh, I don't want to reveal my S tier there. Characters that should be like keeping up with Nago or keeping them at bay. What saves them every time is the fact that they have extra jumps. And one of those very, very dangerous people, I'll say, is I'm gonna start with Milia Rage. It's a little unfair. As you know, from Milia Rage, I'm gonna go look up some top tier Milia Rage combos real quick. Go back to Wolfenstein. But yeah, so Milia Rage, I'm gonna start with her merely off of the strength of the fact that she has 5 billion jumps after every combo. Oh, look, your boy Lord Knight. Well, see, the thing is when I was bringing up black streamers, I was just talking about Nago streamers that are black, but I follow Lord Knight too, so. But he's probably, yeah, he's one of those top tier Milia players that I've been looking at, mainly because I fought a Celestial Milia the other day, and she trounced me, and I felt like if I could have just got one hit off, maybe I would have won, but you know, it doesn't fucking work. So let me see if he does something in here. He's gotta have some jump combos. God damn these commercials! 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 Get out of here, ads! God damn. YouTube is just shilling. So now one thing that I'll say is that while this Milia train keeps on going, is that Milia, I feel like out of all of the characters in this game, she is one of the characters in this new Guilty Gear that still feels like a Guilty Gear character. I'd say out of most of the cast that has been, died down so that, new players can get like adjusted, I feel like Millie is probably the most Guilty Gear-esque out of all of the characters because she has ground wreckers, she's got air wreckers. It feels like she could do some real guilty shit. Chip kind of feels like that too, and Axel's always been the way he is. So, but Soul's definitely like his combo strings and shit is nerfed. Kai has a lot more stuff that he could have been doing. Leo definitely had. Leo's kind of kit is kind of the same. Rams like all of the Revelator characters are kind of the same, but all of our old like legacy people have definitely had a lot of their combo strings kind of pulled from them. Mainly because a lot of them were pretty cheap if you were to put it in this game. And just like Jellyfish Queen over here, we'd have to deal with like too many things that she can do, which would be unfair. So, but back to the list. So I put Milia in unfair mainly because she has a lot of screen control. She's very fast, which isn't like a detriment to Nago. All you have to do is keep her at the mid range and either like hit her with some lows so that she can't get you. But I feel like once she gets you in like her blender and she just starts going off on you, it's like you can't really do much. And I know it's just like okay, FD and just pay attention to the block and wait for your turn. But as soon as she gets going, it's a little like crazy. But I'll start with Soul over here. Soul is better than Nago, I think. We're gonna add because he's got jump, because he's got air dash, because he's got a run. That's the second thing that we got in here. That is a tactic that I feel like it helps everybody else in the cast, and that Nago I just wish. And also he has a DP. Now Nago has a DP too because his up down sword swing, this move, he definitely has a DP, but the difference is that Soul, Kai, Leo, Chip, who else could rise from the ground? I think that's basically mainly all of them. I don't think Faust has something. But I think most of them have a DP that's a true. I classify a true DP as you can just start spamming zigzag on the ground and pressing that slash or that heavy, and you just save yourself because the invincibility frames are great, and you can come off and do some wild and crazy stuff just by getting that DP off, and you can get somebody off of you. Nago has to literally vampire out of the ground and then get his sword shoulder back into place before he can even do a DP. And if Amelia's on your back buzzing around, she's not going to give you any room to let you go. But back to Soul. I say Soul is better than Nago because he has a lot of conversion ability and he has a lot of good screen movement. And the fact that, yes, he can also run is a thing that I feel like people take for granted. And there's not a lot of characters. There's most of these characters can run, but most of them have like when I'm talking about movement, I'm just talking about like them capable of moving continuously across the screen at a rate of speed that helps them in some ways, and they can also maybe shimmy, they could also like, jump backs, they could sprint in and get you ready for the hit and then they just like, feint it, stuff like that. I think Kai is also a better than Nago situation. For some reason his S, and Nago has the bigger sword, but his S reaches. Like I think it's so weird. I'm just gonna say I think his S is faster. That's probably why, if you're trying to sit there and go toe to toe with a Kai, it's better to just 6P his attack when he does his stab forward because he's gonna be quicker. He's gonna be quicker. His 2S is further too. Like you think Nago's 2S can reach, which I'm glad that they gave Soul a nice 2S too. Like he can convert off of a good 2S out of his moves because it has a little bit of deceptive range. But Kai's 2S is literally just the farthest thing ever. I feel like I'm always out of range of that 2S, and I don't know what type of tiptoe he tipping the toe with the tip of his tiptoe. Pause. But he's like he reaches and it still manages to hit, and then he just slides in, does his little Zawaldo, maybe a little Thunderbolt, Zawaldo, little 5K, kick you in the shins real quick, and then hit you with that good old lightning. But yeah, he's trash. Okay, so Leo. Now I'm gonna put Leo in mid because Leo only is dangerous if you get him to not uh get him to stop doing that back turn. If Leo can't get into back turn, he really can't do too much to you. Because yes, he has his slash heavy that are both reaching moves, and yeah, he can do his little X blade, super move, and he can helicopter, all that other stuff. But again, he's another character. He's got runs. He's got jumps.
He's got
He's got
high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes.
But I'm not too afraid of a Leo. Like I know if a Leo was to come up, the thing that I can do is either if I'm quick enough, I can get the grab cancel, and or just grab him out of whatever he's trying to do, that stupid back turn shit. I know as soon as he starts doing his little back kick and then overhead and then switch sides and then slice, back kick, overhead, switch sides, maybe a counter, psych, nah, it was just a kick and an overhead, switch sides, and that's just going to be the rest of the game. But if you can burst out of that or maybe get a YRC off, then you catch maybe one 5S and then Leo's about to be in the gutter. So I don't think he's that dangerous after the fact. Gold Lewis. Gold Lewis. Gold Lewis is dangerous though. I'm gonna put Gold Lewis is better than Nago. Hot take: Gold Lewis is better than Nago. He has jumps. He has air dashes.
Bro, what are
He
you
can
talking about,
run.
man?
He has a full screen attack. He has two
Bro, I'm
full
out, man.
screen
That nigga's tripping.
projectiles.
What is that, man?
And his damage can keep up with Nago's damage. So it's like while these he's not better than these characters because they're quicker and they're able to pile the damage on pretty well. But my argument for this is if any of these characters get a Nago in the corner, he has to either just wait his turn and 6p out of that, and then he has to convert his next combo, or he has to burst. Hopefully, it wasn't baited, and then he just gets smashed into the wall, or he can just faultless defense, and that's it. But where all these other characters, if they're in the corner, they can jump and maybe air dash out. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you could probably stop the air dash out. Maybe jump, do an air grab if you see it coming or whatever. But all of these characters have an ability to get out of the corner easier, where Nago has to do his super jump, and his super jump is easy to see because he's got to load his legs and then fly up off the ground, and it's very difficult for him to kind of get away with that. So, but of course, back to Gold Lewis, he has all of these rolling heavies that do chip on block. They do wild damage if they know how to play Gold Lewis. As soon as they could get that overhead typhoon first hit, and then do maybe an under one, a half circle top to bottom to get the short hit so that they can get a wall bounce, and then do a left under to right, get an uplift into the wall, and then just down with the system, dead. Like Gold Lewis is slept on because people think that he's not that good, because people are just thinking like, oh, he's a Potemkin that can run, basically. But I think it's just that not a lot of people are really labbing this guy, and I don't think they realize how extremely dangerous it is when a Gold Lewis gets churned.
Hey, yo,
When
what
a
the
Gold Lewis
fuck?
starts churning that butter, it's over. You're falling. You are in the pan, and you are getting cooked. I'm telling you right now, when a Gold Lewis starts, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Chip is a little unfair. I'm gonna put him in unfair. And if you've noticed the trend, my unfair characters are usually characters that are slightly faster than Nago in a big way. I think he has an issue with speed characters, and I understand that, yeah, they take more damage, but these two, if they get their combo string started, it's a wrap. They're gonna dance all over your face, and when they put you into the ground, they're gonna dance on your grave too. Like they're too fast, and I've started to notice that when I'm in floor 10, I still haven't gotten to Celestial yet, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter. But when I fight Celestials, or I fight very high up floor 10, or maybe I'm in Park, I notice that I can give respect and back off when I'm fighting one of these characters, because I'm like, I know if they land a hit, I'm just gonna have to put the controller down, because here go the combos. Like it's gonna just keep going, and they're gonna just keep going until maybe they drop it, and then maybe I get one upswing, and then a Beyblade into a lift up into maybe my corner carry and get a wall break. But I would have to get my turn, and usually if you're fighting a Chip's gonna get first turn. He's always gonna get first turn, some way, some shape, or somehow, unless he gives you respect and he backs off and he allows you to like get out of there. It's not going down. I'm putting Axel in mid. Axel is technically supposed to be probably the best defense against Nago. Let's look at the tier list. Let's go back. Axel, where he at? Nago. Wait, actually, you know what? Oh, wait. The best one. Oh, yeah, we didn't get the Zato or Geo. And they gave Chip a 0, saying that Chip is like Chip and Nago are tied. I don't know about that. Yeah, Faust, I know. And they gave Gold Lewis a negative. I can understand that. Gold Lewis has to get in. Gold Lewis is another character that has to get in before he can start doing stuff. But like I said, he's got a lot of range. If he was to start off with Skyfish, and which a Gold Lewis probably wouldn't. But I'm just saying, like, moves that could get you to the corner, because everybody in corner pressure is at their strongest. Once you're at corner pressure, every character is basically at their strongest. And I think Gold Lewis, if he knows what he has to do and churns the right way, he can pop a Nago to corner. And then Kai's supposed to be negative. Yeah, Milia, they got her at a 0 too. Kai's supposed to be negative, but I don't buy it. All right, let's go over to Anji. Anji's a little unfair. I may say that I'm gonna actually put Anji. Actually, Anji's unfair, but I don't know. I'll leave him where he's at. Anji's unfair. I'm gonna put him in unfair because now Nago has the. A lot of characters have moves that they can kind of rekka into that are pretty fast. Nago has those same type of things too. And then he has this like triangle rekka, and you can do 2S in the H, any of the H's. I think except for like, well, it depends. 2S can go into some of the H's, and the H's can blend back into 2S for a good reason for Nago. And then you got your 5Ps and the 6Ps, your 5Ks and the 6Ks, stuff like that, close slash and whatever. But the thing about this is, Anji, along with this bastard, they have an ability in their move set that you need to be fast enough to get another hit off or to do something else. For Anji, that's his Fujin spin. When he does his little bait, whether he's doing the S version where he flies up, or whether he's doing the heavy version where he spins for an hour and then he can just go into Fujin, and then Nagiha, or Fujin with the little feathers, or Fujin in the overhead. He's Mr. Counter, he's Mr. Whatever you do to me, I'm just gonna throw it back at you. And I realized fighting some very high tier Anjis, especially I got my boy, he's an in and out Celestial Anji. And because he knows how I play, he's definitely counterplaying me when he uses. I don't think it's actually a true counterplay, but his character Anji is a counterplay. Like, he literally is a counterplay. So, and they have him at a dead equal. How am I losing to all of these dead equals? All these characters are coming up just middle of the road when it comes to the tiers, but I feel like they have a better kit. Oh, did I not talk about Axelo? Who cares? Who cares about Axelo? I'll go back to Axelo in a second, but I just want to finish up this Anji. Counters, Fujin. He has a lot of juggles, and for Nago to be a heavy character, I don't understand how I'm in the sky so long. Nago, Gold Lewis, Potemkin. I'm surprised that Faust isn't a heavy character, or like Ramathal, but I guess. But all these characters you shouldn't be able to do specific routes because they'll fall a little faster because they are technically. Oh, and Leo too. Leo's technically a heavy character, which is weird because I feel like Soul should be that type of person. He would be the heavy character, and Leo would be like, if Leo could be a heavy character, Soul could be a fucking heavy character. But he has a lot of routes, and he has a lot of things that he can do with his kit. And then here's the last thing, my last caveat for why all of these characters are better than Nago, right? The cost is never the same. For Nago, yes, we get it. You can cancel into your specials. You can jump around, get up to get down. But my biggest thing, especially when I play, and I've watched a lot of people do it, you can either just lean into the pop or you can run from the pop. If you run from the pop, all of these motherfuckers is going no. And they're going to try to bait you into doing another move to get out of their bullshit. Or you can lean into the pop and just, you better have some distance. You better have had them get a hard knockdown. You better have them scared to press a button because you might do your special. Like, you gotta be in their head if you're gonna pop, I feel. Or you gotta just be willing to die. You gotta just be willing to throw away a round. So I feel like if you're gonna pop on the first round, pop if you know you're gonna win the second round. Don't don't pop on the third round because you just threw a game for no reason. And you gotta manage that, and that's what makes Nago a harder character because you have to manage his meter. Where Gold Lewis has a meter that doesn't really matter because most of his moves don't require it. So it's like, yeah, it's there. It hypes up his Thunderbird. It hypes up his Skyfish. It hypes up his fucking eye beam that nobody ever uses in game. But it's not really a manageable meter. Like Zato has a meter that needs to be managed, and I can see how playing a Zato would be hard, but he's, as long as you understand his combos and which moves, because as soon as the thing about a Zato, I can't go to Zato yet. We're gonna talk about Zato in a second, but I just want to get back to it. Specials don't cost anything for everyone else. I don't know what the fuck that was. Specials don't cost anything for anybody else. And with an Anji on your back, hitting you with a 5K and then Fujin juggling you in the corner, and then spinning you up into the sky and doing all this bullshit, putting you under the fan pressure, and then sitting on his ass and tapping you with his hand, and then coming out of nowhere, and as soon as you getting ready to fight, he just fucking flips his shit back, and then boom, you're getting hit by a damn counter, and you're dead. Like, every other special in this game does not cost anything. Nago has 3 shots before he pops, because or maybe 4, because I'll say he can do about 3 if it's Beyblade and up down swipe, which I also feel like his DP, if you don't do both swings, I feel like it should cost slightly less because they know you're canceling into something else. So I feel like it shouldn't cost the same, like, bar and a little bit when you do his DP, but I guess that's just making the game fair. To offset his damage that I also feel like is probably nerfed because I don't understand how Chip be surviving sometimes. Well, let's go back to Axel Low. I didn't actually get a chance to talk about him. So Axel Low, I'm putting him in mid because as dangerous as he is at range, which is the point of his character, he's supposed to be a ranger. He's one of the true rangers in the game, which I feel like even though we have her as a shooting character, she's definitely a ranger, and we know he's about to be a whole ranger, Power Ranger out this motherfucker, Mighty Morphin, Angel and Devil. Oh, she's technically could count as a ranger too, I guess, because when she throws out her little puppets, they could float forward, and then she can push them at you and shit. So she could kind of be a ranger as well, but I don't really count Zato. He's a puppeter, which is why she kind of falls into that list too. But in Axel Low, when they got you at distance, it's scary. When they're baiting whatever you're trying to do, they want you to try to jump in, and then here's where all of the things come back. Axel Low knows the quickest way for you to jump in is super jump. He's got answers for that. You can Fukio. You spend blood, and he can still hit you with his little under the ground drag chain clothesline shit. If you're trying to Fukio away from that, which is a thing I think that they should give Nago, since we got him, his combat roll can cross up, and Milia's little flash step can cross up. We already know Chip's Alpha Blade is basically a cross up if you do it a certain way. Um, and then he's just cross up general. So all of his shit is just back and forth. But I feel like we should go back, or unless they're doing it like this because they're gonna give this to Dandy Step, but I feel like his Fukio, if you're right up on a person, I feel like if you Fukio forward, you should be able to Fukio past them and get behind them. I feel like he should have a cross up with Fukio at close slash range. Now, if he's like out of close slash range and he Fukios forward, then okay, he just Fukios in, and it'll stop in front. But I feel like if he's in range close enough to do a close slash and he does a Fukio, I feel like that should be a cross up and he can Fukio behind you. That could be a thing that would bring him up here, I feel like, compared to all of these characters with the way his movement is. But because he doesn't have that, it's either you Fukio in to close the gap or just get hit by Kasari Gamma explosions for the rest of the game. You jump in and get knocked out of the sky and then get ran down on. Or you try to special in, hoping that you can counter maybe one of his attacks by clashing with them and making your way in. Or just hoping that he fucks up and just trying to get in. Or you could try to waste your meter and try to RC in there. But that's, again, all of the supplies that you have in the game to defend yourself when you're defending against a ranger character, I feel like you're wasting your resources just to get in. If you can't get in naturally. Naturally, yes, you should be able to get in. You just super jump on that bastard, do a down heavy, and just start mixing him into the ground. But if he has you at range and he's good at keeping you at range and judging what you're going to do next to get in, he can keep you there. And then especially if he wants to try to change sides, he'll keep you at range for a little while, do his underground little fucking pull in bullshit, change sides, and then do his little swipe back, jump back, because he can keep you at range with that. And then whatever you're trying to do on wake up, if you're trying to do a special that you just wasted because you thought he was too close, or whatever you're trying to do, he can get out of it. So I feel like while they have him on the tier list, where's he at? Axel. Boom. They have him at a +1. And it makes sense because he's got the range on you. But I feel like, in all actuality, he's a +1 because if you get in, you destroy him. They got Eno as a +2 and... Wait, no, that's not even the right list. That's against Kai. I'm surprised these would be against Kai. What? Somebody got to fix this tier list. I think this tier list is wrong. All right, Eno. I'm going to be true. She's better than Nago. She has a lot of stuff that makes her better than Nago. I'm going to sit here and say her float. Her float is so deceptive. The difference between an Eno fighting you and every other character in the game is, at least with every other character, when they're trying to come in on you, you can 2S and knock them the fuck down. Eno literally floats over lows, so you have to use a mid, and she's faster than Nago's mids. So it's like... he doesn't really... I mean, he has options, let's be real. If she tries to stroke and you can bait the stroke, you can grab her out of the stroke, or his Beyblade actually counters her stroke, you gotta time it right. But it can counter her stroke, because if you're quick enough, whatever. Or if you're lucky, you can catch a 6H and knock her out of the stroke before it hits, because the range will chop her before she can finish. But if you're doing a 5S and she strokes under you, get ready to get carried to the corner. And then she has projectiles. Another thing, Nago's Shadow Clone, while it does reach pretty far, and it's a pretty good move, I think I use it too much, and that's probably why I'm always sitting in footsie. But it's still, all of his specials require a cost. And people say, oh, it's good buttons that he's one of the characters that can cancel into other specials, and that makes him so good. I'm just like, no. It makes him good until he pops. It makes him good until he has to play footsies. it makes him good until you got a character like fucking Milia Rage who could jump all over that shit and mix you up, and now you're inches away from popping blood, and she's got you in the blender, and you try to pop out of it. She baits a burst, gets you with some other bullshit, wall breaks you. You get up, try to do a special. She knew that shit was coming, so she backs out. She slides in on her goddamn hair. I have PTSD, so we're gonna move on. But Eno with the stroke, really strong. Eno's got good mix up. If a good Eno is playing you, they know how to do those float cancels. And those float cancels, I'd never understand how her dust, when I'm blocking low, it's got to be a mid. The top of her dust has to be a mid. She puts the mic down, but for some reason it hits mid and then she gets the low. But I'm blocking low. So I'm like, how is this still hitting me? I think it's a mid. I have to just look at it again. Maybe I'll lab and just see, but excuse me, it's a mid. But outside of that, if she does her little juggle, her feints, her little corner feints, throw a sound wave at you, and then juggles you a little bit, strokes you up, you know what I mean, stroking that big tree. Let's go to Faust. Alright. Let's go to Faust. I was gonna say Faust would be in mid, I'm saying. Mainly because all you have to do with a Faust is kind of just counter when he does specific moves. If he does his like that overhead slash where he leans back and then does the hit, I happen to fall for that a little too much. I don't really got a Faust video up here. But I fall for that a little bit too much because he'll do that overhead and then he'll stand up and do his like reaching fishing line stab and then baseball swing you, and then he'll throw an item out, one of his random items. But I think like once you get a Faust is suffering from the same thing that I think Axel suffers from. Faust has a little bit more options than Axel, which is why I'm going to move him up. But he's another one of those, he keeps you at bay by keeping you at range, and when he gets in, he can do a little bit of bullshit like that stupid claw swipe that he has, or his weird like 3-hit foot move or whatever, or maybe if he knows how to get PRC into a command grab, okay. But frankly, I don't think he's that strong against Nago. But again, he's got air dash. He can run up on you. He has a teleport. That's a full screen teleport. It goes everywhere. And what I finally realized, it took me so long to realize, it is a cross up. And it messes me up every time. It's basically like fighting Leo in the sky. Every time he does that, I swear I'm blocking it. And it always hits me because I'm blocking the wrong way. It's slightly behind you on the other side. As soon as he gets in the sky, you gotta switch your block to the other side to block it. And it's so weird because I never see it coming. And most Fausts don't do Scarecrow. They just do teleport from the sky. And then they just throw out another item. And usually when he's throwing out his items, I look for those bananas or that donut, because I'm like, give me some of my health back while you bullshitting. And then you're going to try to throw something else out, and then I'll hit you with a 2S, and then launch you up with the fucking DP and juggle you into the corner, and you die. Zato! I probably should have established this tier a little earlier. But I'm going to put Zato in. Yeah, let me do Potemkin first. The bread and butter of the video. Everybody, clap your hands. Potemkin is here. He's a giant piece of shit and I hate him. So that's why we got the S tier called Mega fucking Fisto. Potemkin is the worst. I hate this character. Fighting him as Nago, he sucks. I hate him. I hate him. There's been many a day when I'm fighting a Potemkin randomly because I don't choose to fight Potemkins. You can call me a pussy if you want, but I don't give a fuck. I don't like fighting those Potemkins because they piss me off. They get everything. He's okay. Look, he don't gotta run. All right, so he's one of the characters. Gold Lewis, big ass, can fucking run across the street as slow as he want, but Potemkin can't run. But Potemkin has that slide in that he has with Hammerforge, which is just as goddamn good as goddamn Soul's fucking Vortex. So I'm like, I don't understand how you don't think that that's not good movement. Nago don't have no shit like that besides Fukyo, and Fukyo costs money. Like I'm broke. But anyway, Mega fucking Fisto. This bastard. I'm telling you, if there is like a medal for like being the worst, I'm gonna give it. God damn, this pop-ups, man. No, that's how I feel. My landing page video keeps starting without me. Mega Fist Pot versus Nago. We're gonna put on a stream for you real quick. Show you some shit. I'm gonna mute this because I don't want to have. I got it. I don't want to have any extra shit. But now this is Otashi. He's I've been watching his stream a lot. He's been teaching me some shit about Nago. Look at this already. All right, boom, boom. We're because I literally have to spend time. This is the main reason I made this video, because of this shit right here. It already began. Look at how this round started. Hotashi started this round good. He started with a 5K. Potemkin respected it. Kurokich respected it. He jumped back. He did a back step. Boom. He goes for the down heavy, but he's already in slide head. Armor. The amount of time it takes Nago to finish flexing his goddamn delts after doing a freaking 2H is ridiculous. Boom. Gets hit by the slide head. He can't get in off the Fukyo. He's already... Look at his face. Look at his face. He's already like, God damn it, I fucking fucked up. Comes in. You saw that little hammer forge? They love to do that bullshit. A little burst of hammer forge just to get just close enough for maybe a Potemkin buster. But let's see what he does. He does a couple hits, got so does no slide head, boom. Some of the other bullshit that he got. As I said before, if you have run, if you have jumps, if you have a double jump, air dashes, or anything else like that, you're better than Nago. He's got air dashes, double jumps, and the fact that, because see now Milia, if we want to talk about jumps, Milia I feel like legitimately has 5 jumps. She can do a jump, she can do another jump, she could probably do an air dash, because I feel like she's got 3. I could be wrong, but I feel like she's got 3. Then she's got her little pop off the rose, kiss by a rose on the grave. She jumps over that. Then she has her little I'm gonna be Spider-Man / Luffy / let me say there's a hero because you're not gonna stand in my fucking way. And she drops on you and then does the bullshit. But Potemkin has some similar shit like that too. He can come up, he does 2 jumps, and his Mega Fisto can count as another jump, which is what pisses me off. Back to the video. So gets hit by that shit. Hotashi blocks. Boom. Potemkin buster. Look at my fucking health. This is what happens to me. And then boom, you see it. You see it. You see it. He can't look at this shit. Okay, so he can't. All right. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. Slide head. Hotashi tried to Beyblade. The move that everybody is so scared of Nago. Oh, hits Beyblade. Let her rip. He's so negative on Beyblade. And we've got every other move in the game that can counter that out. Just 5 PM after you block the Beyblade. Unless he goes for a bite, which Frankly, we don't even do that because bite for some reason is like 50 frames slower than a grab. But whatever. Nago's throwing his big ass on your face. Then he fucking hits you with a punch. Baited the burst. Caught him with the Potemkin Buster. Once the Potemkin Busters start, expect another one. I'm just letting you know. If he gets one Potemkin Buster off, he knows he can probably get another one. And that's why he hammer forged in and did a second one. Getting you right into there. Red R seed, hit you with the 6P, and then caught you with the command grab in the sky. Wall break. Hotashi loses the first round. Now, these are Celestial. These are people that are really good at the game. And I feel like Hotashi, Grandmaster J, and I've watched some other Nago videos, but I don't got the actual people who play them. I gotta look for some more Nagos. But this is what I feel like is Nago's biggest fault. Even Potemkin has more maneuverability in the screen than Nago does. You can complain about his Fukio all you want, but we got people like Giovanna that does the same thing. She doesn't run, but her little step in is basically like a Fukio without cost. It does the same thing too. It gives her a little bit of ice slide, because some people get mad because when Nago Fukios, he has a little bit of glide, like he's on ice, so he can move in just a little bit closer, and then he can do some shit. Geo has the same thing too. She can jump when she does her rushing. If she gets 2 dashes, expect that she's gonna have a little bit of glide on the edge of that slash, and then if she does a dust, she can get you from range. Because I realized that her dust actually kicks you from the dust itself. It's a legitimate dust. It's a full dust. Back to the video. Duel 2. Let's rock. He starts off good. All right. So Hotashi started off good. He did a 5K. Nago didn't move. If Nago didn't block that, Hotashi would have probably either did a 6K and then would have lifted him up with the DP and maybe close slashed him a couple times and then carried him to corner or whatever like that. But he didn't see the opening, so he was like, all right, he blocked my 5K. I'm gonna do a Beyblade. Safe. It's fast. It gets me in close. I could probably get a close slash. I could probably jump out. I don't know. Whatever I could do. Potemkin already had him on the ropes. So, as you can see, Potemkin blocked both. Boom, boom. Hit him with what I feel like if this is not this got to be like a heavy. I got to look at this move list. I think that's a low 2, and then that's a low heavy. Jumps up, Mega Fisto. Hammer Forge in, walks in. Hotashi reads and gets the grab off. He's got good block. Burst out. Fakes the Hammer Forge. Hotashi's doing good. OTG. He gets the bite off. Doing really well. PRC. He just brought it back. He just brought it back. Hammer Forge. He tried to get another grab off. Pot's coming in. Stopped it. Nice grab. Hotashi got it. But like, if you notice, there's a lot of times in this where one false step, because look, he was under a lot of pressure and Hotashi had him on the ropes. He got it right back off one pot buster, and as you can see, he was trying to do a heavy. He was trying to lock him in with a heavy, but Hotashi knew that was coming. So he came back, hit him with the 5K, tried to get the 5S off. The pot tried to come in with the frog splash. Luckily, he knew that was coming. Came in close with the Beyblade, which it whiffed, which gave him room. And then he came out and did what he had to do. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we got to finish the tier list. But now, with that, boom, opened them up. That chop got too much reach. Now look at this shit right here. I just want to point this out. Hotashi's in footsie right now. He can't do too much unless he gets a bite off, unless he gets the full Rekka, or maybe like 1 or 2 heavy slashes. He can get himself back down in the second bar, and then he's pretty safe after that, and then he can defend with maybe 2 specials before it gets real dangerous. Pot has all the room in the world now. Their health is pretty much the same, And Pac can easily chip a Nago's health down real fucking far. Let's see how it goes. I just want to watch this one match, see if Hotachi could pull through. So now he's using his normal slide head, comes in, knocks him out with the 5P. He blocks it. Good job. Capitalize with the special. It's coming down. Fugio's in. Got him on good pressure. Hammer Forge block. There it goes. Now that fucking Potemkin just fucked up. Because he had him right there. Oh, nice out. Tried to get him. Gold burst. Blocked it. Burst back. Tried to slide head on him. Mega Fisto. I think he Mega Fistoed again. Oh. FD. Nope, missed it. Ah, I missed the slide head. Okay, Hotachi won. All right. So it's not helping my case, but but I'm still of the mind that Mega Fisto is still the worst thing in the game. Now, what you saw there too was he jumped in and it looked like he did a Mega Fisto, but I think that was just a regular jump in. But now, as you can see from the match, that Potemkin actually fumbled the bag because he had him when he hammer forged in and did his I guess that would be just a heavy. I don't know if it's a 6H or whatever, whichever one he did. All he would have had to do after that is maybe a 6P into his air grapple gun hand explosion thing, and then PRC'd into Super Potemkin Buster. Hotachi would have been dead. But this is like high level big brain stuff that I get hit with online because the Celestials be coming down to the 10th floor and stepping on me just so that I can get back up there and get trounced and get sent back down. Fuck you. Anyway, Zato goes into the Mega Fisto class. Mainly because, like how I said before, with the big heavy guys, they got to get in. Now Potemkin doesn't really have an issue with that. Yes, he'll have a hard time getting in with a Zato, but he has things that he can do to stop Zato's bullshit. If he did a slide head before the Eddie could even start doing drills, he's already hitting the Eddie and knocking down the Zato, and then he can hammer forge in. Of course, the Eddie would probably have something to get out of that, but like somebody like Gold Lewis, also, he could do Skyfish, or he can send out Thunderbird. Both of these things could keep Eddie at bay and give him time to either do what he needs to do to get in. He can jump, do his spinning coffin, maybe an overhead churn, get a typhoon in the air, and then start typhooning Zato into the earth. When a Zato is playing against a Nago, Zato has too many options to keep the pressure on. And as you can see from the Kumite, which I'm about to pull up, we got a Zato, alright? When I started to get kind of good at the game, I was playing against some Zatos, and I realized that if the Zato is actually good, there's nothing Nago can do. There's only so much that he can do, and it requires him getting in. And the fact that Zato has so many options with Eddie, and the fact that Eddie could just come back so fast, again, this is another one of those things where we have two characters that has to manage a bar. I think Zato is the better character because his bar management is a requirement of his character. And I think that it actually is something that's a detriment to him because he can lose his Eddie and then he's basically just doing regular shadow attacks until Eddie comes back. He can do a special to get his special back, but it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop Eddie from It's not gonna stop Zato from doing what he needs to do. By the time Eddie comes back, Zato already has enough pressure laid down, or he's in a position to where he doesn't have to worry about too much because he can still defend himself pretty well against whatever Nago can do. And the fact that he has, where is it at? Okay, well he'll do it at some point. But when he goes into Shadow Flight, and in this move right here, it automatically refills. So Another, oh my god, every time I pause, it just does whatever it fucking wants. Um, Here's another thing that makes Eddie so plus against Nago where it comes to management of stuff. Okay, Eddie used a special that gives his Eddie bar all the way back up. When Nago uses his Waziriyuki, his bar still stays there. Like I think when he does his Zangetsu, I think it goes down. But when he does Waziriyuki, I think it's still up. So he can still be in like two cap blood after doing a special with a wall break. That means that he doesn't have too many options after that. I'll have to look again, but I clearly remember that his bar doesn't go down from a special, where Eddie literally gets a full reset if he does his special. And then look at the range. He's doing Axel Lowe's job better. Axel Lowe is supposed to be the character that's supposed to be good at keeping people at range, and that's his whole character type. Eddie can do that and still fight from up close. So it's like you're sitting there, you have to dodge drills, so you got to dodge all of these lows, because that's the other thing too. You have to dodge all of these lows, and then he can just go high. See, he's got his bat form. So if he throws, let's say he throws low Eddie clap drill at you, he can fly over, hit you with the flying axe, and then do something else where it's like you're in mix. You're basically in sandwich. Like you can't do anything else. You're just sitting there waiting for your opening. And I mean, Uriel Legion was doing his best, but Gobu knows what he's doing, and it's suffice to say, Goku plays this game, and he plays this game really well because I mean, when I watched Kumite and I watched how well Gobu can do with his Zato, and then he just straight up changed gears and destroyed. When I say destroyed Diafoam with freaking Gold Lewis, I was appalled. I was thinking like, yo, Eno should have been the one that was plus. And let's go back to the let's go back to the tier list here. Gold Lewis, where's Eno? Down. Eno should be right here. She's +1 on Gold Lewis. She is plus. Axel is +5 on Gold Lewis, and that makes sense. Axel could keep him at bay. Where's Zato? Zato's +2, and that makes sense. But he's +3 against Nago because Nago does not have options to get in. He doesn't have a lot of movement like he has movement options, but they cost him. His movement costs him. Most of his attacks, most of his abilities cost him. Only his normals are good because they're good at like keeping people at bay if you feel like you have to do so. But again, if imagine if Ryu lost health every time he did a fireball. Like, why would you waste fireball then? Which is actually a funny thing that's gonna happen with Happy Chaos. I saw his shadow clone takes health from him. So I don't know how people are gonna do that, but I feel like that's just gonna be like a last ditch effort. But I'm wondering if he does shadow clone when he's at like a little bit left, if it's just gonna have him at pixel, could he do it again? Because he has no health left, so he wouldn't be able to do it. But again, Zato is in Megaphisto because a well played Zato can keep you at range, keep you pressured. You can't do anything, and again, Nago doesn't even have a true DP. So even if he was to try to like for instance, Zato keeping you under pressure, Soul can get out of that. Volcanic Viper. Kai can get out of that. I forget the name of his move. Eno can get out of that. He can churn his way out of that. He can counter block his way out of that. He can Alpha Blade out of that. Megaphisto out. Change sides out. Faust could probably grab. You know, like there's a lot like Milia might get mixed, but she also could probably just do her fucking hair circle thing, press them back, and then she can, you know, do her little her vector movement. She's better. All right. I'm gonna say unfair. I feel like she is more unfair. I feel like she's the most unfair. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say she's the most unfair because May is gonna fit in that unfair category. I'm not gonna put May in Megaphisto because you just gotta stop her fucking Totugeki and she's pretty much done. But uh I'm gonna put Ramathal into unfair because her mid screen swords, um and watch it's gonna do bullshit again. Yep, yep. As soon as I look away, it just decides, hey, I'm just gonna not work. I have to figure out what this. Oh, good, it's a Kizzy video. See, now that's some bullshit. You can see it already. That's cheap. That's cheap. Yes, and that's how I feel. I feel like Ramathal fits in a weird place. You know what? Actually, I might. New row. Make it purple. Megaphisto's there. And then we're going to do this one. It's blue. And just cheap. We got a new tier, and it's cheap, and that's where she goes. Just cheap. It's just cheap. Like all of her stuff is just cheap. Like, gotta fix my hand again. All of her stuff is cheap. Like she has so many things that she can do that's highly unfair. She has an aerial. She has this weird aerial crash move where you should know if you don't know what it looks like. All right, Sonic Fox is not gonna do it, but she has this move where she jumps up and she like slams down. It's extremely plus. Like when they said that they were gonna make Soul's Bandit Bringer plus when he comes down, so he was gonna be plus where he could do something else. It didn't even do much because all he can get out of that is like a 2S or like a maybe a 6P, and it knocks them so far back that it's like, what else am I gonna do? We just reset. Like there's nothing else to do now. But with her, she has a move that's similar. It doesn't do a lot of like hard knockdown damage, but she's plus, so she can go into her Rekka, she can throw swords, she can juggle, and as soon as a Ram has you in corner, out of all of the characters that can do damage in the corner, I think Ram is the worst in corner because she literally just has an infinite combo, and if she decides she doesn't want to wall break you, she doesn't have to. She can just constantly do swords, hit you up with some juggles. Maybe she'll crack the wall and let you fall down. And then if she decides she wants to change sides, she'll change sides and let the wall give a breather. And then just change sides back and just swords you in the wall. And then Katabatos. And then, hasta la vista. May is also in the cheap tier. Because every May that I've seen, if they're not spamming Totogeki, which I think it's going to get nerfed again. I think it kind of got nerfed a little bit before where they can't really spam it as much, but it's still good. Nago has good defense against it, but the fact that she has 5 jumps overhead and she has this overhead heavy that's deceptive, it'll hit you, then she can Totsugeki, then she could Great Yamada, or she could throw out her Killer Whale, Basketball, whatever the fuck. She's horrible. I'll put Geo. She's in the unfair category, but I gotta wrap this up. Geo has the same stuff that Nago has. She has her slide ins, but again, I put her in unfair because she's another character that, even though she doesn't count as a speed character, I feel like she technically is a speed character. She could kind of class with these two because she has movement that is like unnaturally fast. Where Leo has a legitimate sprint and then he can do cross up, and these two are basically just Sonic the Hedgehog in male and female form. She has a dash step that's similar to Nago's Fukio, but again, like I said, it doesn't cost anything. It gives her slide in, and she can convert off of a lot of her moves because if she does her dust knockdown and then 2S, that's a double hit. Then she can jump over and do her split kick, or she can do slide in 5K. Start you off with a launcher. By the time she gets in with that 5K, she's still gonna be sliding in after that. So then she can do close slash, which is a knee up. That knee up gets you in the air. She does whatever she wants. She'll do her like back roundhouse dog spin, and then you'll get hit to wall. Then she could run it. She can dash in, dash dash, jump back dash, 2K. I mean 2S K, maybe another K combo heavy, and then she'll either do spinning bird kick or whatever the hell she feels like it. Because once a Geo got you in corner, or she'll grab. Like that's it. Juno's mid. Um, she should be playing like Axel, I'd say, but I think she needs some help with her kit because she's another managed character, but I feel like she is suffering from the same problem that Nago's suffering from, to where her management is kind of hampering her gameplay. I think she's better at it though because she it doesn't cost her to do her management. The only thing that she loses is maybe like extra moves that she could do at distance, but most of her up close moves are pretty good. Her dust is the best dust in the game. Oh, actually, no. Her down dust, her 2D is the best dust in the game. She has good anti-air, which I think that is a 2H. Her 6H is a good trip up because it's that whip and then she slams the ball down, which will trip you up, but I think it hits mid, so it can get a bounce off of that. And then she has that like she has her own little spinning bird kick, or the Sanji hands kick, I'd say, where that move has a lot of good like distance when it comes in. I think that might just be her heavy. But she's really good with all of that. But as soon as you get on her like an Axel Low, she's gonna die. Uh, and I think Axel has a better. These two are kind of interchangeable. I don't think they're better than each other. They kind of have their own like they kind of have their own problems when you get in on them because they could both play range. But I feel like I'm gonna say that she's better because when she's up close, she can actually defend herself. Where Axel Low has to kind of keep you at a distance unless he wants to bring you in just to trip you up. But for the most part, most of his moves require you to be at mid to long range. Where she can play full screen, but she really is kind of good at mid. And then when she's up close, she can defend herself up close because her normals are pretty fast. And then we got Happy Chaos. Don't know where he's gonna land, but I want to say that he's gonna land possibly in the better than Nago range. Um, because I feel like he has. Okay, so he's a true ranger, a true ranger. He's the Green Ranger out here. If he's the Red Ranger, she's the Pink Ranger. She's the Yellow Ranger. He's the Black Ranger. he's the Green Ranger. Like he's the strongest of the range game. Like he has a his guns are full screen. That's it. Like it's not even like, oh, you know, whatever. They cost a little bit. So he'll kind of run into the issue that that Juno runs into. I keep calling her Juno, Jacko. Why do I want to call her Juno? Oh, cuz she's the scales of Juno. I call her Juno because her and Soul have like this deities things that they have together. And he's from the backyard. But um he has. I haven't seen him played yet. He's gonna drop soon, and I think I might do a video on him. But he has full screen range. Yeah, it costs. Yeah, he's got to reload his bullets, but he has a shadow clone. Like okay, and that's the other thing too. Shadow clones. We got three characters that can use Kagebunshin no Jutsu. We got Chip, who if you hit his clone before it hits you, it actually does damage to him. Nago does no damage to him. It will always hit you unless you block. And if you do block, get ready for a Fukio to a bite. Unless you're smart enough to know to just keep spamming square until you die. His is he loses health for using it, which kinda is like Chip's, but he's doing it tactically where Chip's trying to attack you with it. So he can fuck himself by using his clone wrong, where he's using his clone as a defensive to probably reload guns, get his like energy back up, because he's got a double manage. Um, where most of these characters are single manage. He's single managed. He's just got to work his blood gauge. She's single managed. Just got to work her puppets. I don't even know if you could count him as management because it's literally just the bar fills up and it's like how much of the bar you want to use. He can automatically refill his bar, but I think she needs a bar. I really think she needs to come from a character middle of the road level 3 down to a level 2, and she needs a bar for her swords. I think it should be that. Like her swords have a certain amount of like time, and you can know when they're gonna come back, or she can't, or if she uses a certain amount of energy, they don't explode on wall or something like that. Like I think she needs a bar, if anything. And Geo needs a whole new like mechanic for her specials, but that's something else. But he has double management. He has to manage his bullets because he has to have a certain amount of bullets in the gun, and then he has to have the energy to shoot them. So the longer that he waits to like get his accuracy, the stronger his accuracy, the better his shot, the more energy he uses. It sounds like all you got to do is just spam shots when he's not like fully on, and you can kind of like get a couple bullets off, throw a clone, reload, and then maybe use a hard bullet to like knock him down. But he has full screen control. Excuse me. And I'm thinking that, especially against Nago, you got a Nago probably throwing a clone in or trying to Beyblade in. He can throw his clone in the way, and the Nago, if the mechanic works the way I think it's gonna work, we just gotta pull up one more video. Now here's the thing about Happy Chaos that I wanted to say now that I've seen the video, and I might just do a whole video on it. I think I might. Okay. So as you can see here, his role, as I said, is something that Nago's Fukio should be able to do. I feel like Nago's Fukio should have the same properties as this role ability, because he should be able to flash step past fireballs unless it's like it does something else. He should be able to flash behind you because the role can jump behind people. Because he see like that, he just dodges an attack. He can dodge specials if he's doing an attack. I'm trying to think if this is the soul. Yeah, this is soul combo. He just rolled behind him, got him on cross up, and like the soul wasn't prepared to like block in that other direction. If we were talking about Leo, you knew that was coming from Leo. But the fact that Happy Chaos can now, he can do attacks and shooting you. So he's attacking you and shooting you. So he just shot him and then rolled. So now he's already opened up because the person's probably expecting the roll. He opened himself up, got shot, he's on the other side, gets dust tripped, and then Happy Chaos still has the gun locked in. He can hit you from anywhere. So it's like, and then the fact that he has Scapegoat, which is just, I'm wondering if that, and I gotta see it again. So I guess it's just gonna do different animations, but because yeah, they have to kill it. And if it does what I'm thinking it's doing, yes, okay, it does do it. It almost works like Zato's Eddie in front of him, like when he does the little Eddie with all the hands. Um, it stops you in your tracks. So you gotta think, if a Nago's trying to get in, he either does like Kage Bunshin or he does Beyblade, and Happy Chaos throws out a clone. Yeah, he's risking a little life, but he's risking that combo that Nago could have got off if he caught that Beyblade. So the clone is gonna stop him dead in his tracks, and then basically like then he could reload his gun. If he has meter, maybe he can reload up so that he can get his like bar back, and then he can shoot Nago from a distance, and Nago just has to block because that little meter is gonna always be on as long as he's like looking at you. But and now I noticed that yeah, you gotta and especially this curse is gonna be a problem too because it makes his attack stronger. It's basically like having Johnny with mist on. If you played old Guilty Gear and you had Johnny with the misstep on, and it makes some of his moves I think either just better or just unblockable. But once he throws mist at you, Johnny is a nightmare. But I think Curse is gonna work something similar to that, to where it's like it's basically like the mist walker, and then now everything's extra damage, and the fact that he can throw it out of combos and it hurts you and it probably opens you up, like come on. And then this one, again, him being a character that you clearly see that he can shoot from anywhere on the map. That means even if you try to dodge this move, he's gonna hit you. Because it just automatically goes wherever you are. Because of the fact that he is a true ranger. So it's like there's nothing you can do. Now the only thing that I think for Happy Chaos that kinda sucks is his super focus. Because I mean I guess it'll work the same as like Zato using sword to get his Eddie meter back. But it just seems like this is literally just filling up his bar and giving him maybe that strength buff so that he can do whatever he wants to do with it. But I'm just like, what's the point? You just gave him like an extra focus. Like, okay, why not just make focus like two different moves? You have like the light focus where you put it on slash, and then heavy focus, which would be like the one that costs a little bit more or it's a little longer. I'm just watching some more of this Happy Chaos because I might try to lab him a little bit, see what he's capable of, but yeah, like stuff like this. Pressure in the corner. You can't hit him. Which I think he might actually be a good... Anji might have a problem with him. Oh, that's a really crazy crossover. Oh, so this is what I wanted to talk about. Happy Chaos seems like he's about to be the first character that has a full roster of moves versus everybody else. I'm going to go into a video on that, but for right now, let's just end this list. Nago's trash. We all know. And everybody wants him to be nerfed because he's just so fucking strong. But I think a couple of these people either have to have their game changed up or there just needs to be something slight. And here's my final caveat for Nago. I think that he should have either a 6P or his heavy just needs to have a higher arc. His 2H. Because I feel like when he's especially when you're doing like certain combos or whatever, I think that he doesn't have a lot of options to defend against the air. So every other character can do an attack where they jump over him, they do the little box thing over him and jump over and then hit him with an air attack. And yeah, he can 2H. That's not gonna work. He can try to 6H. Not gonna work if they bait it. All he has is 6P, and that is a chance that lands. But Nago has to be so prepared for an attack to come that he would know to do it, and that's the only way that he can do that. Or he can advance with his DP, and again, it would cost blood. It costs money, and we broke out here. So this is my tier list about how Nago sucks. If you like it, leave a comment. Let me know what you feel. And I'm gonna do some more Guilty Gear videos because I'm liking this game a lot. So I guess I will catch you later.